We got this report on the very morning of the Monday when we started to work, so it was so-called urgent debate report or very quick report. It is one thing which must be mentioned. The second one is that we got it in the quite difficult situation. Why? Because we discussed a lot about Venice Commission's possible opinion, which is coming. And of course, it was very important to have this opinion in advance. But unfortunately, Ukraine didn't ask it, but asked it only after the law was adopted. Now it is coming probably in the end of this year. It takes time. And the Assembly was in the delicate situation to have the conclusions before. Therefore, I avoided as much as possible the legal conclusions. It is a question about how to go from the monolingual model they still have in some minority areas to the flexible bilingual model, and how to do it without losing the quality of the education, without touching the minorities' rights, their integrity, language as key of the individual and collective identity. It is always a difficult question how to do it. I think there are a lot of political prejudices, and at the same time there are a lot of difficulties. I also think that 3 years time schedule for such kind of huge reform, they didn't even go forward during the last 20 years, would be very, very complicated, and to be realistic, it takes, I think, in the reality, more time. First is, of course, the country has a right to develop, to protect, and to use in educational systems the state language. To go from the monolingual model to the flexible bilingual model, what Ukraine is most probably trying to do, they have full right. From the second point, of course, all our documents are protecting the language as the main aspect of people's identity. So we also would protect it, and this shift from the one system to other must be very careful, and the quality of the education must be maintained. And the third one is the principle of you avoid any kind of discrimination. This reform must be implemented very calmly. I think there are, from both sides, some kinds of simplifications. Neighboring countries like Hungary and Romania probably are using sometimes the argument that the schools would be closed. They would not be closed, in my understanding, but the one model would be replaced with bilingual model. It is very important, but from the other side there is other simplification that we can do it within 3 upcoming years, which is, as far as I know, these kinds of reforms are everywhere difficult, emotional, and they take probably much more time.